Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you. Welcome to our 11th Air Gradient Air Quality Forum. And here in this session, we'll be discussing very interesting insights. And we already have our excellent guest speaker here. But just for information, before we officially start, before we start, I just wanted to give you a reminder that we're committed to a respectful learning environment. So please find a brief of code of conduct right here on your chat box. Okay, great. So everyone, in this session, we're highlighting Nafas Indonesia, a company and a platform that provides real-time pollution data through a fast sensor network, which helping communities understand and respond to air quality challenges. And our speaker for today is Nida Fauzia. She's one of the data analysts at Nafas Indonesia. She's focusing on outdoor air quality data and actively participating in research and collaborations that utilize Nafas monitoring sensor network data. Okay, so before I let Nida take over with her presentation, I also wanted to remind you that if you have any question during her presentation, feel free to share it and drop it in the chat box, and we will discuss it later on the Q&A session. Okay, I think everybody's ready. Nida, the stage is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening from Jakarta. So tonight, this is 11 p.m. in Jakarta time. And first, let me say what an absolute honor to be here today at Air Gradient Forum, surrounded by so many curious minds and also passionate hearts, mainly towards air quality topics. And also a huge thank you to Air Gradient for creating this incredible space for us, Nafas, to introduce our works in the scope of air quality and how we create something that will be helping in it. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Nida. I'm data analyst at Nafas Indonesia, and today I want to take you to the journey of Nafas Indonesia, our initiative, our long road, and also our expansion from Jakarta to the Middle East. But the more importantly is how we unlocking the air quality trends for collective impact. So first, let me share my screen first. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. And first thing first, what is Nafas? Maybe I think you all might not be too familiar with this name. Nafas is an air quality health and wellness company from Indonesia. So we developing technologies to help urban citizens breathe healthier air. And the word Nafas itself is an Indonesian word and originally from Arabic means breathe. So we adopt this term into our brand for helping people breathing healthier air, mostly in a polluted city. And on the right screen here, this is one of our product. We develop the mobile apps that are accessible for everyone. And this is the interface that's showing our air quality sensor, which is installed in some area, mostly in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. Then this is our works. So we have our outdoor air quality monitoring, and it can be seen uh, at our mobile apps. And also we use the local sensor for outdoor monitoring. And starting for 2024, we use air gradient sensor as one of our partners. And then we also had indoor air monitoring device. So it is locally developed and also manufactured the IoT device. And this is our air monitoring device for indoor and also air purification system. Both of indoor and outdoor data will be used in the Clean Air Zone program. So the Clean Air Zone program is our B2B subscription service, and the Clean Air Zone itself is automated and performance driven air quality service for the indoor, and our smart system will be ensuring that the air quality inside our room, our homes, our office, or our building will be remain on a healthy level, no matter how bad it is the air out and the outside. And next, we have a great news. So we're excited to announce that now we are expanding to the Middle East, starting from Qatar, we received fund from the Qatar Development Bank to support Nafas growth both in Indonesia and also in the Middle East. And with the partnership in Doha, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, we are ready to bring cleaner air to more parts of the world. And next, so back to the topic and back to Indonesia again. Here you can see some of headline news from Indonesian media about the air quality back then. And yeah, it is written in Indonesian, but they mentioned that the air quality is worsening and bound to kill its resident. So our work in Indonesia is driven by these very stories, by how to tackle the issue of air quality, moreover when it comes to high pollution. But previously, this was kind of like an untouched issue because not many people aware the risk of the air pollution itself. And this might be happen because we don't have enough data to demonstrate that our air quality is on that bad level. So to solve the air quality problem, we understand that the air quality data is needed. Because if we have enough data, we could do more research and also spread more awareness and information regarding the air quality around us. But yeah, previously it was kind of hard to get the accessible air quality data, and also the number of monitoring station is only a few. And next, this is what Nafas do in Indonesia. So starting from Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia, we aim to provide data and insight about the surrounding air quality for everyone. Because we believe that more access to air quality data will allow us to improve our lives. And it also opens the door for academic research. And with that knowledge, it can become a powerful force to shape better policy in this sector. And as Indonesia is a big country, we try to reach more locations to install the sensor because everyone deserves to know the air quality around them. Now we have already installed over 180 air quality sensor in more than 15 cities in Indonesia. And yeah, after we gather more data from our monitoring sensor, we can do any performance to make air quality trend. Air quality trend here refers to the pattern and the changes in the level of air pollutant over time in specific region or place. And in this case, we use PM2.5 data to see how the air quality pattern in Indonesia. Next, this is the chart of, or this is the trend of air quality from 2023 to March 2025 in Jakarta Greater Area. And by this chart, we can confirm that there are two periods of air quality in Indonesia, which is following by the season. So for the records, Indonesia has only two climatic seasons. The first one is rainy or wet season, and the second one is dry season. And on the rainy season, in the rainy season, heavy rain and also strong wind will be take big roles in the dispersion of the air quality of the air pollution. So the air quality reading will be much better, and we call this season as the good air season that take place around November to April. And the dry season is the opposite, so it will be taking back the air pollution into high level. This happened because the lack of rain and also the wind speed remain to be stable around that time. So the air pollution will be stuck floating around the city, and we call this as the bad air season, and happening in the middle of the year, around May to October. And next, this is what happened in Indonesia during both of season. So foggy sky pollution often happen all day long in the bad air season. And the map is at Nafas app will be similarly like this. Yeah, the orange, red, and also purple color will be dominating the apps that indicating the air quality is on that unhealthy level. And also the next one is when the good air season, we always welcome the blue clear sky, and the green and yellow points will be dominating the apps. That is indicating the air will remain in the good level. And next, the other phenomenon that clearly seen by the trend is the effect of El Nino and La Nina. So El Nino will be bring drier condition in Indonesia, and the last El Nino happened in 2023, and it make the bad air season have an extended period from May to December. But the other hand, La Nina would bring the weather condition to Indonesia. And the weak La Nina happened at the end of 2024 to 2025 and lead to increasing rainfall in Indonesia. This condition turned the map of our apps into green points almost every day. And by understanding the trends and pattern of the air pollution, we could address more issue and the effect of the air pollution. And from there, we could also continue to inform people about the possible thing that will be happen based on the experience and also based on the trend of the air quality, like the possibility of the beginning of the bad air season or the preventive action to what should we do when the high level of pollution is happening. And one of the serious matter is the health risk. So especially during the high level pollution period, respiratory illness are causing mass hospitalization, and it is affecting both adult and also children. And yeah, this is one of our trends in June 2023. And these charts are from our sensor in a different region, but mainly the bad, but mainly in the bad air season, of course. And they show almost the same pattern that the change of high air pollution happening during the nighttime as we fall asleep and also as we unaware. And the series of high pollution could be one of the cause of more cases, particularly to the respiratory illness. So more people start to complain on social media that they are start to getting sick each day. And moreover, the parents of toddler seems to have the same problem with their kids. And yeah, back in 2023, in the middle of 2023, this is going to be viral among social media, and this issue later gained widespread attention because yeah, everyone feel the same feeling because everyone gets sick each day because of the air pollution, and it became a national topic of concern. And also, it prompted the government to respond by forming task forces from related ministry to address the situation. And for Nafas, it also led us to do a collaboration with Halodoc. So Halodoc is a teleconsultation company in Indonesia, and together we conduct a research to see how high air pollution affect the number of the teleconsultation, mainly in the respiratory illness. And one of the interesting finding is the teleconsultation case will be increased up to 52% after the series of high pollution. And since the bad thing happened in the bad air season, more people start to pay attention and the importance of the air quality and also the air pollution. And also we could do more campaign about the health risk of the air pollution. And this is our long journey to convince the general public that we cannot be separated the air pollution from our lives, because as long as the source still combusting, the air pollution will be there in our atmosphere. And more importantly, we gain more people to install our apps on their mobile phone. And now they begin to check the air quality around them before doing any outdoor activities. And this screenshot, and mainly written in Indonesian, are from the user who tag us in social media. This is for us is a big win and also a very good movement to encourage people to check and share their air quality before making decision to do any activities. And also in our apps, so this is one of interface from our Nafas app. We provide recommendation based on the air quality outside. The recommendation is such as limiting outdoor activities during the bad air days and enjoying the outdoor when the air is clean. Next, so this is one of our user that tag us in social media, and they say it's a good day to run. And yeah, Nafas is also concerned about how the air quality will be impacted our exercise. So recently, more people has embraced their healthier lifestyle by taking up activities such as jogging, marathon, and other form of exercise. And as as an air quality company, we actively support people in pursuing these activities, but in a certain condition, of course. So when the high level of air pollution begin to high, we recommend them to switching from outdoor exercise into indoor exercise like gym or in the studio. Yeah, we really concerned about this because there is a hidden risk of exercise during the times of heavy pollution. Because when our physical activity is increasing, so it will be increase our respiratory rate. And if we do this in the high level of pollution, so more toxic particle will be inhaled into our lungs. And this would be led into serious problems such as respiratory illness, and also some research state that it will be affect our cardiovascular too. Okay, next, this is last but not least. So by having air quality data in our hands, we could do more academic research that would be helpful for the general public. So this is our latest research, and this research is a collaboration with BRIN. So BRIN is a national research bureau in Indonesia, and this research took place in South Tangerang. South Tangerang is a satellite city from Jakarta. And we try to find the potential source of air pollution by using clustering and trajectory analysis. And we post this result into social media and gain attention from citizens in South Tangerang because now they know what caused the air pollution in their area and why it's getting worse each day. And yeah, this is my last slide. So these are the institutions that have joined NAFAS, that joined research with NAFAS. And NAFAS is warmly invite all research effort to utilize our network data for academic research and also for any collaboration. Okay, thank you for your time and attention. I will now hand the session back to the moderator.
Thank you, Nita. That was very insightful. I actually have several questions in mind, but I'm also letting some of our audience here. If you have any question, please feel free to drop it in chat box because this is the Q&A session and we'll discuss it. Maybe I can start with my question as the opening. I like that you put it on your presentation that NAFAS is a lifestyle changer agent, and you
Yeah.
also mentioned that some of the social media user in Indonesia, they're starting to be aware on what they have to do by checking the data on their Nafas app. I think perhaps the basic question is that how is it on the first years of Nafas? How Nafas try to build these awareness to the public through social media? Because I think we also have to understand that not everyone understand how important it is to actually check air quality before you go out, right? That's also one thing that I want to know.
Okay, so to be honest, air quality data is often complicated for general public, yeah, because if we take a look at the trend, especially in daily trend, it will be an up and downs in maybe the up in nights and the downs at the afternoon. And this is our responsibility to simplify the data and make it easy to understand. And for the earlier year that for the earlier year, we also find some difficulties like, oh, maybe not many people understand and not many people interest in these topics because air quality is something that forgotten back then. But yeah, we really try hard to create social media content that is accessible and also easy to understand for everyone. So everyone could easy to catch the message that we try to bring. And the turning point is in 2023 when the air quality goes viral because the air pollution goes viral, everyone getting sick each day, and yeah, people start to look at the air quality, air quality sector, and they begin to realize that, oh yeah, the air quality is living among us, and we should try to pay attention more on the air quality because the air is something that we breathe every day, and the air is something that we can choose what inhale into our lungs, right? Yeah, especially when the air pollution is get worse. So yeah, that is.
Okay, thank you, Nida. Okay, I see there are also some comment and question. Maybe I can read the comment first from Lucian. Amazing app you have there. I believe it's very important to have the information easy to read and understand. Also, the 24-hour is history data is mandatory for understanding differences today from yesterday air quality. Yes, I also do believe so. And yes, it's really important to make sure that it's easy to read, especially for people
Yeah,
with no air quality background, right? Uh,
right.
yeah, and then next question from Gregory. Nice talk. I assume that you are using the air gradient. Is it true? Does it use the solar options or Wi-Fi, or do you have do you have residents host the device? Nita, maybe you can explain a bit.
Okay, so yeah, starting from 2024, we're using a gradient sensor as one of our partners, and we're using the option of Wi-Fi. And yeah, we have a resident host for the device. So uh, on our social media, we open the registration form for everyone who wants to be our host. So yeah, if the location is suitable with the area, and yeah, it is desired place to for us to install the sensor, we could ask them, and they willing their place or property to be our host. Yeah, that's our host information for our network sensor.
Okay, so people can also register to host the monitor, right, Nita?
Yeah, right.
Okay, everyone, if you have another question, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. Maybe I can also fill in for my next question. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I see that you were explaining about how is it the first year, how hard it is. My question is like, what is kind of like the problem? I believe awareness is number one. What are some of the things that kind of like tackle the progress of NAFAS bringing this awareness to people, especially in Indonesia?
Okay, maybe for the challenge that we face in this is maybe everyone not really understand about the data of air pollution or air quality data, because sometimes at the apps the sensor turn into green, and sometimes it turn into red or yellow or orange. So we use US EPA standard. And maybe because of that, people not really realize that the air quality is so important for their lives. Yeah, it is also our mission and also our responsibility to make them understand and realize that, oh, our air quality is living with us, living around us, and we have to pay attention, especially when the air quality gets on the unhealthy level.
Yes, and I believe it's a long time process, especially for NAFAS, right? Okay, next question from Demba. How long will NAFAS last? I assume it should be on the monitoring, or maybe if Demba can
Monitoring.
explain, yeah. What pollutants are measured and what is the resolutions of the device? How is NAFAS calibrated?
Okay, Nafas is it's beginning our mission from 2020, and this is our 5th year. And maybe how long will Nafas last? Maybe about the device. So we use local sensor there. The age of the longest time for local sensor maybe around 3 until 5 years, right? Maybe we should check it. And for the earlier year, we use early device for our network sensor. And the pollutant that we are measure is mainly is PM or particulate matter. And we use in our apps is, and the pollutant that we use in our apps is PM 2.5. So it is easy. So for us, it is kind of more easy to understand. And the resolution of the device, maybe for the coverage is radius 1 until 2 kilometer in radius. And how is Navas calibrated? So for the calibrated, the device is self-calibration, and the device is self-calibration to maintain consistent and accuracy for the readings. And yeah, and starting from 2024, we use the air gradient sensor as one of our partners.
Great, thank you. I hope that answered your question, Demba. Okay. From Victor, another question from Victor. Hi, I'm really curious about the turning point and the support from the local environment bureau. I'm curious about the temperature readings and the reactions of locals.
Okay, for the turning point and support from the local environment bureau. Okay, Navas is trying so hard to be in touch with the environment bureau, and also we are looking for support from them because we really want to work within them to spread more awareness and also expanding our sensor in more area in Indonesia, because Indonesia is a big country and we want to every city has their own monitoring station, so everyone will know what the air quality around them. And about the temperature readings, so the sensor itself has temperature sensor also, and the reaction from the locals, yeah, most of them when they didn't know about the air pollution and air quality, when they know about the air quality around them, yeah, they must be so shocked, and most of them like cannot believe that the air quality around them is on that bad level. But by now, since we have the data and the locals can easily read the data by the apps, they know starting to understand, and this is a reliable source for us to see whether the air quality is good or not.
Okay, thank you. We're also have next questions. I suppose, okay, Demba is asking, is Nafa suitable for very hot areas?
Honestly, we are using the other vendors for the low cost sensor. So we use Airly and also a gradient. Maybe for the low cost sensor, okay, I will also answer the question from Robert. And maybe for the low cost sensor, we are using other vendors like Airly and Air Gradient. And for the low cost sensor itself, yeah, maybe it can be placed in the hot area or in the higher temperature, because the low cost sensor is can be calibrated with the reference monitor, right,
Yes,
Johanna? And
exactly.
yeah, for the low cost sensor, maybe you can ask to the Gradient or other vendors that support the air quality monitoring station.
Great, thank you. I see that some of you are wondering about air gradient low cost sensors. So I'm dropping our research page for everyone because I cannot definitely deliberate everything here, but I'm inviting all of you to welcome and see our research page to find out more about our low cost sensor. And if you feel like you need more information, please feel free to email us on the support and we'll definitely get back to you. Okay, oh, we still have questions from Gregory. Have doctors
Okay.
found a big rise in respiratory disease such as asthma cases going into emergency ward in the dry season? Is it because by biomass burning, local burning, and traffic?
Okay, for the respiratory disease, increasing in respiratory disease, we try to conduct the research with Halodoc. Maybe later you can find our white paper by Navas and Halodoc, and it is mentioned about asthma too. But for the cause like biomass burning, local burning, and also traffic, we still try to conduct source apportioning study, and we can really identify it is the pollution caused by the biomass burning, local burning, or the traffic. So we do the research based on the general data only, not by the cause.
Okay, I'm also sharing the link. I hope that's the right link on the research
Yeah,
page
yeah.
so that Gregory can also read.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, Johanna, for putting this link.
great. Is there any other question? Okay, wow, great. Another question from Wally. How was the sensor calibrated? I think it's already answered, but maybe Nida, you can just give short answer.
Okay, so the sensor will be self-calibrating because we use the low-cost sensor from the vendors, and it is we do the calibration to maintain consistent and accuracy reading, but the sensor is self-calibration. And besides the self-calibration, we also do some co-location with some reference monitor. So in Indonesia, there is uh, reference monitor from the US Embassy. Yeah, but now we can access again data, unfortunately. Yeah, and by having the collocation with the US Embassy, we can see the trends of the air quality of the air quality data from our sensor and also the reference monitor. And the data from from our sensor and the reference monitor shows the correlation up to 95%. So yeah, for the reliability of data, we can make sure that the data is on the right track.
Okay, next question from Victor. I find that locals in the tropics area are also appreciative of TEM ratings due to the ongoing heat waves in some area. Hi, Nita. I'm curious which message get the best response from the local. I believe it's based on Nafa's experience and sharing the awareness to the local.
Okay, so the best response is when the air quality is get high. Yeah, because since the air pollution is could be affecting the health of our body, and when the air quality is on the high level, people try to reach us like mentioning in social media mostly like why the air quality is get bad and how what should we do with this. Yeah, this is best response from the local. And when the air quality get good, tend to in the good level, they also send us a message and also tag us in social media like, look, the air quality is good right now. Let's go outside. Or let's having any exercise outside because the air quality is really, really on the good level.
Okay, at least it's great to see some response during both moment, whether it's in a good situations or bad situations. I think it's really best that people is responding to the situation compared to years before, right?
Yeah, compared to the years before or comparing to the month before, because sometimes when we on the dry season and try to shifting to the rainy season, it will be and people kind of wondering what's next in our air quality.
Okay. Okay. Question again from Gregory. The new air gradient will have solar plus NO2 and O3 ozone. Will you adapt the new sensor to see how gas pollutants are
Gas pollutant.
influencing health? Yeah.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that earlier we use early sensor, and the early sensor is also have the NO2 and O3 sensor. And yeah, we are using the early sensor for that pollutants. And maybe for the next, since air gradient is one of our partners, maybe we will adopt this new sensor to see the pollutant that will be affecting our health. But yeah, we still need some research into these factors.
Okay. Next question. Any tips for those wanting to follow the NAFAS model, starting a community-driven monitoring with limited initial funding?
Maybe for us, maybe you should talk to our CEO. But yeah, for me, for us, maybe we should do some to gain more funding and to install more sensor in more location in your area, because with more sensor and also more location, you will see the pattern from uh, you will see the patterns and the trends of the air quality in some area, because as Indonesia is a big country, the air quality in Jakarta and our quality and air quality in other region will be some different number of average. And yeah, and also for us, the social media effect is really help for spreading the awareness and so information about your model. So yeah, maybe you can use the social media and get it viral, and everyone will know your monitoring sensor and also spreading awareness about the air quality.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Nida. I think social media is also a catalyst for
Yeah,
for like newcomers to just bring out the awareness, especially in the local that they're aiming.
yeah,
Okay,
because people back then using their mobile phones to get in social media a lot, right?
exactly. And now it's becoming a trend, and then everything that we can access in social media have also informative inside. Okay, another question. Maybe we could close this as our last question, looking at the timing.
Okay.
Um, did you experience clogging during your work, and what did you do? Maybe you have specific experience that you want to highlight.
Yeah, maybe this is not clogging, but everyone needs their first time, and also we are really trying really hard to convince the general public that air quality is important for our lives. Yeah, that is our biggest, not our biggest problem, but this is our biggest challenge. That yeah, sometimes people tend to remember that air quality uh, is among us, but sometimes they kind of forget about it, and it is maybe driven by the season in Indonesia also, because yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we had the bad air season and also the good air season. So when the bad air season, people start to complaining about the worse air quality, and when the good air season, people like try to forgetting that the air quality is increased around us. And yeah, for us, maybe that is the clogging in our work, because people just sometimes people only remember the pollution when it gets high and affecting our health, especially.
So it's basically on the trend whether people feel that the air quality is better or not, and that's the time where they reach out to NAFAS. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, there's a word of encouragement from Gregory. Thank you for this excellent presentation. You're making a big impact.
thank
Great.
you, Gregory.
Okay, maybe we can still have one spot of question for Heroine. Are there any cultural aspects or common beliefs or behavior that are impacting the adoptions of your product that might be unique for Indonesia? It's a pretty good question.
Okay, thank you for the question. And maybe this is not cultural aspect or common belief, but most of Indonesian have a misconception about the air quality. And when people heard about the air quality or air pollution, they tend to remind or remember like, oh, maybe to tackle this air pollution, we should plant more trees or reforestation or something similar like greeny thingy like that. And for us, this is a misconception, because when we plant some trees, it is uh, not really impacted into decreasing the air pollution around us, because when the pollution gets into trees or any plants, it will be also weaken the plants, just like us, because they are uh, living things just like us. When they affect or hitting by some pollution, they will be weakened. and that is the misconception that we are really that really challenging for us to make people believe that planting trees is not for decreasing the air pollution around us.
Okay, hope it helped answer a question, Heroin. Okay, looking at the timing, we're almost out of time, but Nida, I would like to ask you to give your closing statement before we end this meeting.
Okay, first thing first, thank you for this incredible space, Gradient. And yeah, at Navas, we believe that clean air is a basic right. And by sharing data and we collect and also the insight we gather, we hope to inspire action, both for individually and for collectively. And also, we're excited about the future and the positive change that we can make, possibly or probably together with all of you, whether it's through collaboration, research, or simply spreading awareness regarding the air quality. And last, so let's continue to work towards healthier and more sustainable future for all.
Great, thank you so much,
Okay.
Nida. At the end, it's about collective efforts. And also, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for coming. And also, thank you so much, Nida. It was very, very insightful. Everyone, please give a virtual round of applause for Nida. Great. Thank you so much. On behalf of the entire Air Gradient team, thank you for joining our webinar. As usual, we will proceed this webinar and we'll upload the recording at our forum page, and we'll let you know once it's uploaded on our LinkedIn. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night, good morning, and good evening.